Thanks, Rino. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good, Anthony. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Now, as I was saying before, mate, with you, you're probably one of the happiest people, given the current lockdown and restrictions, because you don't get to travel as much.
Yes, correct.
Tell us a little bit what you do.
I'm usually away 2 weeks per month.
Yeah.
We've got a contract in Northern Territory, so I go to Darwin. Been doing that for about 2 or 3 years now, easily. And prior to that, I was travelling overseas, again, 2 or 3 weeks of every month. And I really enjoy it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy the travelling and enjoyed every bit of what I do. But the last 8 weeks, I've been at home, working from home, stuck in my study, and absolutely enjoying it. You know, it's so different, so much more relaxing that the pressure that you usually experience when you're working and in the normal day-to-day, what it was used to be like, just doesn't exist when you're at home. The meetings are the same, but you just feel so much more relaxed. So it's been good.
How's Jenny coping with you being at home every day?
Well, she's good, actually. Surprisingly, we've adjusted quite well, because I was concerned when you're away so much and then you're home 24/7. You think, Christ, is our marriage going to last? You know, is it going to manage to get through it? And it has. She's been great. I get my cup of coffee and a little treat every now and then, you know, during the morning and the afternoon, and it's been great. No, we've really, it's probably helped us a lot, actually.
Yeah, good on you, mate.
Relationship, the fact that we're actually home together more often.
Yeah, that's awesome, buddy. That's always a great thing. Now, mate, how long we known each other for now? 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, about 5. It was early 2016 when we met.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
So I ventured over to your neck of the woods there in Bayside, and tell me what were you doing financially with regards to where were you heading before we met financially?
I wasn't heading anywhere. I was just in limbo. When we met, I was basically turning 60. And, oh, yeah, I know.
You were a little younger than that when we met, weren't you?
No. That's where the urgency came for me. I was turning 60, wanted to retire in about 5 years' time, if I could. And basically had no chance of doing it. Honestly, where I was financially, I was looking at working for at least another 10 plus years. I couldn't retire. It's just financially, I didn't have it. I earn well, but I don't know what happens to the money. It just disappears. You know, so I was in real concerned about what I've got to do. Yeah. And luckily, someone recommended I have a chat to you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it actually changed our lives. And we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about that as we go through now.
Because I see you as someone who's very articulate, very intelligent. You know your way around numbers, and you're very good on the math. And you actually, you're earning quite well when I first met you, still are. And it's a thing, you find with people, like there's this conception out there that the more you earn, the better off you are. But sometimes it's like the more you earn, the bigger the expenses and the bigger the lifestyle. I'm not saying that about you guys, but when you're earning a big income, there's much more to replace when you stop working. If one wants to replace their income when they stop working, the job is that much harder given how much more you would actually earn. So you take somebody on, say, $50,000 a year. The effort required to replace that is nowhere near as, say, the income that somebody 6 times, 7 times that amount would earn. Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I do. And
what happened since we met?
Well, I've got to say, I'm getting close to 65. Far more confident about getting ready to retire now.
Yeah.
What we did in those 5 years has really changed our lives. It's given me the financial freedom. It's not as it's not as far advanced as I would like to have been, but then I didn't have the time frame. You know, my greatest regret is that we didn't meet 10 years earlier. You know, I would have been finished work years ago if we had have done that.
Yeah.
You know, we've met each other. We put a plan together. We followed through on the plan. It's worked really well. You know, and in the last 5 years, you know, the last 2 or 3 years, the property market hasn't gone up as much as it boomed, but it's still, if you've got good property, it's still gone up. It's gone up a small amount. We haven't really lost out.
Yeah.
You know, there's a hiatus at the moment. Everyone's saying, well, what's going to happen? I don't know. You know, I don't think anyone knows, but I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
You know, I feel far more relaxed about our financial position.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I may not retire at 65, but it'll be 66.
Yeah.
You know, it won't be, it's not like it's going to be 70 or 75.
Yeah.
I'm not far away from it now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it otherwise, you know.
Because it's, you know, and I don't recommend, it's like, it's one of these, you know, these caveats, don't try this at home, right? I don't recommend that people start their investment strategy at the age of 60. That is much, much harder to do in the current landscape. We have lenders, insurance companies, employers, everything really on a general level is against you at the age of 60. So I strongly don't recommend that. And this is what we encourage everyone to look at. It's probably later than you think when we talk to clients. Most people leave it too late, and then, as you said, Reno, the time frame works against you. And how did we go along the way? How did we perform along the way? I mean, you took. I remember when we. I won't get into the numbers, but I remember a dinner we had not far away from where you are, with a whole bunch of paperwork and contracts and lots of red wine.
Yes, we did. I think we got RSI after that dinner, just trying to sign the contracts, and 3 copies of every contract.
Yeah.
And you know, you're right. 5 years is not long enough for this type of strategy. You need to start earlier, but I didn't have that. My lack of confidence in being able to invest in property. I mean, I did invest in more than the one property that we, you know, had when you came along. The rest we had to sell because they were useless. Wrong areas, you know, not managed properly. There's a lot of issues with what we did, and so only having 5 years, maybe 6 or 7, we had to do the other thing. We had to buy more than one property at a time.
Yeah.
Right? So we had to buy multiple properties, and then that's how we got our increase. Instead of just increase by one property, getting, you know, 30, 40, 50% increase, we had to have 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And that's worked quite well for us.
Yeah. And I forgot about that. You had a few properties that you had in place before you met us. What's the situation with that? They didn't perform for you?
They didn't. No, we bought the wrong properties in the wrong areas, and they just didn't go up. You know, I bought a 1-bedroom apartment. I paid $340,000 for it. Sold it for $360,000.
That's
3 or 4 years later.
Yeah.
You know, your advice was get rid of it. It's holding you back, and it was.
Yeah.
You know, so that was my lack of confidence in knowing what areas I should be buying in, what sort of properties should I be buying. You know, and I'm not a property expert.
Yeah.
I don't do the research that you guys do.
Yeah.
I don't understand the property well enough. I needed someone who was going to guide me through all that.
Yeah.
And that's where you did a great job, you and the team.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah, I do remember that. It's and that's the thing. You've got to be prepared to make the hard call when it comes to money and investing. You've got to be prepared to make the hard call. And I do remember that one better that you had. And you just got to cut it loose and have no emotion attached to it. You make money, you lose money. It's the cost of not doing it or the cost of keeping it that far outweighs, you know, the cost of letting it go for a loss. And but tell me, like, has what you've done over the last 5 years, has that affected your lifestyle? Because there's this notion out there that, you know, people, you know, one of the fears they have is that they've got to live, you know, bread to water. You know, if they start investing, you know, property sucks up and takes up all their money and they're living like hermits and they can't leave the house.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought.
Mm.
And that was another reason why I thought, well, I can't afford to have more than one or two investment properties for that very reason.
Yeah.
And it's not like that at all. When you understand how to invest and how to structure everything, it doesn't affect me at all, right?
Yeah.
I probably at most cost me $50 a month on a property.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, I get that back plus more when I do my tax.
For your taxes.
So, yeah, after the first year, the tax returns I get basically cover the property, right? So that plus the rent, doesn't cost me anything. So we just live normally, and then we treat the properties as a separate business.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a separate business, but that's how we treat it.
Yeah.
Right? The tax return goes straight into the bank, and it sits there and just helps pay off the properties, and then nothing comes out of our normal pay, our monthly wages that come in. So we just live normally. It doesn't affect us at all. But the thing was, I didn't understand how to structure things to enable us to do that.
Yeah, would you say there's a lot more to it, mate, than just a few properties to create wealth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have I didn't think that initially. I thought, I'd buy a property, take a loan out, easy. As long as I pay the loan, I wait for the property to grow in value. What more can there be to it?
Yeah, yeah.
But there is a lot more. And to be honest, right now is a good example. Something as simple as having a good property manager, right? We've got a good, you've given us property managers for the different properties, suggested people who know what they're doing. And as I can see now, they've got people that have got good credit histories. They've got good renting histories. They can afford to pay. I don't have issues now with renters. So I know that these guys, all the tenants I've got, as I said to you at the beginning, all of them are paying their rent. No one's defaulting. No one's asking for a cut in rent or anything like that. And that little things like that make it so much easier. I don't even worry about properties at all.
Yeah.
Right? And the property managers look after it. And if there's an issue, they'll come and have a chat. We decide what we're going to do, and then they go off and do it all. And we just keep going on with our life as if those properties don't exist, and it just keeps growing in value. And hopefully, once we get to retirement age, then that's when we're really going to enjoy it.
Yeah. Thanks, Rino. I've always said, you start to realize how good an investment, how good your properties actually are, not during the good times, but during the bad times.
Yeah.
When the economy turns and the market, slows down, and people are running for cover, that's when you know how good your portfolio is. And, the message I've always said to our clients is, you need to be able to buy property that outperforms the rest of the market and continues to perform irrespective of what the economy is doing. And that's got a lot to do with demographics, understanding where you're investing, who your buyers are, what really drives the property market. And you've got to be able to see into the future and work out when it all hits the fan, who are the people that can still stay in the game?
Yeah.
Right. And that's just as a landlord, but as also a tenant. Banks also get a little bit freaked out if you buy the wrong property as well. So there is an art form and a bit of a science in making sure you buy the right properties. I mean, as you said, found out, you had the wrong properties before you met us, and there is a bit of a science behind getting the right properties, because not every property is going to help you get to where you want to get to. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make, But what would be the message you would give to people out there right now looking to get into the property market?
If I put myself in the shoes where I didn't know you and I'm looking like someone else.
Yeah.
The first thing is I lack confidence in investing in property. It's a big expense. You're talking $500,000 plus sometimes more than that. And you get nervous about it, you worry about it. What you need, and what I found, is that if you've got someone there to help you and guide you and be able to allay those fears, that's what you need. You don't do it on your own. If you do it on your own, you don't know, are you doing it properly? Should I do this? Should I not do that? You know, is this too much money? How do I structure my finances? You know, all those things that you helped us with.
Yeah.
You know, your team looked after things. When there was something I needed to be involved with, I got notified, and, you know, we discussed it, we sorted it out, we moved on. Then I could focus on what I do best and leave the property investing to someone who knows what they're doing. And to me, that made it so much easier. I slept at night because I wasn't worried about, you know, what do I have to do tomorrow? Do I need to sign any documents? How am I going to contact this builder and do this and do that? I didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
And to me, having someone who can highlight for me and plan out, this is what has to be done.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do. You know, discuss it, get some advice. To me, that made it so much easier. You know, I recommend that to, you know, friends, work colleagues, family. You know, if I've recommended a lot of people to come and speak to you, whether they follow through, that's their decision.
Sure.
But at least get some information, understand how it's going to work, and get it from someone who knows. The property market does change. It's, you know, what areas that you are suggesting today, in 2 years' time, there'll be other areas that are going to be better. And we can't do the research. Where do I even start? I haven't got time. You got the team to do it. You've got the expertise. I just recommend go and see Anthony. That's what I say to people if they ask me, what should I do? I'd like to invest in property. All I say is go and see Anthony. Speak to him. You know, that's what you need. And it's all the services, not just, yes, go and buy in this area, or you know, use these people or use this builder. It's a lot more than that. It's the whole package, and that's made it so much easier for us.
And I think that's the difference between being a property investor and a wealth creator. You know, property investors tend to just focus on property. Wealth creators basically focus on money and the entire system, the whole model.
Yeah.
Mate, it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. It's been so long since we've seen each other and spoken. And I saw Jenny there in the background. We will have to catch up, mate, when this is all finally over and done with.
Yes, I actually think we did have a night organised, I think, for February, March time, which fell apart.
Yeah. When
all the virus came along. So yes, we do need to catch up. We always look forward to that. We both enjoy catching up. Yeah,
we do, mate. Well, listen, again, thank you so much for your time today, mate. Congratulations on your success, mate. It's, you know, what you've achieved in 5 years is really nothing short of remarkable. I know you keep a lot of it to yourself, and you're quite humble, but you and Jenny have done incredible things in 5 years. So, you know, congratulations again, mate, to all your success. And thank you so much for lending, you know, a little bit of your time tonight to share your experiences with our audience.
No problems. Thanks, Anthony. And I'd put it the other way around. You did all the work. I just financed it.
Yeah.
Right. That's really what it came down to. You did the hard work and I financed it. And, you know, for that, I owe you quite a lot. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend. You take care. We'll speak soon, okay?
Yep, you too. Thanks, Anthony. Bye.